Hey guys, don't mind the background or the video quality, but it's been a while since I've loaded any videos up to this channel, but I've gone through a metamorphosis of healing, and I owe that all to just studying mental illness, psychology, pathology, and kind of coming to terms with the reality of what can happen when you are with somebody that's mentally ill. I've been kind of studying a lot of, watching a lot of serial killer documentaries. I know that sounds crazy, but documentaries that involve murder or any type of, atrocious violent act. And it keeps coming back to NPD, and a lot of these perpetrators of this stuff, I mean, they had like the same type of symptoms that somebody dating with somebody with NPD would kind of be exposed to. So although it might not seem physically dangerous in the relationship you're in, a lot of these power and control symptoms and these symptoms where the person needs to be entitled to everything, and the basic symptoms of NPD that we've gone over are prevalent. So another big change I've done is emotional versus logical thinking, because we can avoid these situations and we can avoid bad people entirely if we learn to critically think about things and logically think about things instead of emotionally thinking about things. So I was going to post something on my Instagram page, which is called Goodbye Narcissist. It's goodbye_narcissist. And I decided maybe make a video about it. So I was doing examples of emotional thinking, and this is something that I'd say 99% of the population is guilty of. It's perpetuated in television, music videos, movies, everything that's aspects of our lives that are controlling our lives. Emotional thinking is perpetuated and personified. So for instance, he had a bad childhood. He just needs some nurturing, right? How many of us with our partners with NPD have we thought, okay, they had a dark past, they had a dark childhood, and I'm capable of loving them back to health. I'm capable of giving them the things that they didn't receive at home from their parents or from other loved ones, or whatever traumatic event that they indefinitely went through as a child. That is an emotional thinking. That is not logically thinking. I'll give you the emotional thinking and what a logical thinker would think. Thinker would think, oh my gosh, he has had a bad childhood and now he's exhibiting bad behaviors. Instead of healing from his terrifying childhood, he's actually doing the complete opposite and perpetuating the things he was exposed to as a child. Boy, I need to stay away from this guy because my childhood may have been traumatic. I might have had a bad one, but I've become an empath instead of an entitled person with NPD. The next one is his ex-wife got sole custody. What a bitch for keeping the kids away from him. How many men manipulate women into projecting the ex as the bad guy? And this is done over and over again in society, and for the life of me, I'll never understand it because I've never been that type of woman. I've hung out with guys predominantly a lot of my life. I was kind of a tomboy, and I've been there and I've seen it. And usually the woman, I'm not trying to, women and men have NPD, but usually the woman is not at fault. And as a woman, we should be able to empathize and understand with other women and always know that there's two sides to every coin. So if you've been exposed to some of this person's NPD traits and they're telling you that their ex is, all bad doing, etc., that's probably not the real story. So we need to definitely investigate that. So that is the emotional thinking. The logical thinker would think, holy crap, his ex has sole custody. We're living in an equal opportunity country. The family law system is set up where both parents have equal rights, and judges are reluctant to give sole custody to one parent, there is something seriously wrong here. I wonder what really happened. That is what a logical thinker would think, or something along those lines. Emotional thinking. His ex has a restraining order on him. She's always trying to make things hard for him, right? Hey, this stupid girl I used to date got a restraining order on me so that it would make my life harder and I wouldn't be able to get work, and now I can't own a firearm, and now it's on my record. She's trying to destroy me because she's jealous, because I moved on with you. That's what they're going to tell you. And that is emotional thinking. None of that makes rational or logical sense. Again, the court system is reluctant to grant restraining orders unless there is founded evidence or proof of such. If a person has a restraining order against them, they are dangerous. For the most part, they are going to be dangerous. Whether they are stalking, harassing, sexual predators, violent predators, whatever it may be, that's what your logical sense is going to go to. Restraining order is negative. If they have a restraining order on them, they probably did something negative. The courts just don't go hand those out like a piece of pie, okay? What do I have here? He cheated before, but that was because he never liked her anyway. I'm different. How many times have you been the woman that, a guy is cheating on their significant other with, right? And they have all these excuses for why they're cheating, why they chose you and why they don't want to choose her, and she's restraining sex from him, withholding sex, or she's the cheater, or whatever lie they fed you. That is emotional thinking. Nobody of good moral character or a person with good integrity even considers cheating as a part of their daily life. It should not be something that they exercise. So a logical thinker would think, okay, this person is a cheater. They have no morals, no ethics. They don't have standards. They're kind of loosey-goosey, and I am not that type of person, and I don't want to get involved with a person who considers cheating as a lifestyle form, or perhaps they have cheated in the past and they seem really, really regretful of it. That's okay. We all make mistakes, right? But if someone is kind of giving excuses for the fact that they cheated, that is a definite red flag, and a logical thinker would steer clear of somebody like that. I allow him to control every situation because he says he's smarter than me, and maybe he is. This is one that you might not realize you're doing, but people with NPD try and make you believe. I have never in my life ever been called unintelligent or stupid or dumb ever in my life, and a person with NPD will be the first one to tell you, like, hey, you can't be trusted with decisions. I'm better off making decisions, and we should follow what I'm saying and my control, because that's what makes sense. And some people are going to fall for this because maybe they've never analyzed their self, what is that word? Self-sufficiency, right? Maybe they haven't had to question their self-sufficiency, so they never really thought about it. And this good person with NPD comes along and says, hey, you're not self-sufficient. I need to start making the rules here, because you can't be trusted enough to make rules for yourself or decisions for yourself. And that is simply not true. A logical thinker is really important. You have to analyze the situation, okay? For instance, if your NPD perpetrator is living at home with his mother or father or parents, and he's an adult or well into his 20s or 30s, and they're living at home with their parents, they keep switching jobs, they don't have assets, they don't have a savings, they don't have good credit, yet they're telling you how to spend your money, or career choices you should make, or business choices you should make. That person is probably not entitled to make those decisions for you. They are just exercising their authority and power. The logical thinker in this instance would think, I have a lot more going on in my life, I have a higher degree of education, a higher degree of independence. I have a lot more going for me on paper than this individual. I'm really curious as to why he's giving me advice when, not just advice, but controlling me, when it's really unfounded. My friends don't like him because they're jealous of what we have. You know, I've heard that time and time again, women saying that their friends are jealous of them. Their friends are jealous of the way they look, or they're jealous of the relationships they have. First of all, I'm going to ask, why do you even keep people around you that are continuously jealous of you? If you have friends around you that are just jealous of you, they're probably not good friends. A good friend is somebody who genuinely cares about you, who's going to want the best for you and put their input in to keep you safe and to keep you healthy, and they want to see you flourish and go far in life. You shouldn't have friends like that around you. Logical thinker would think like, no, I have really great friends. I value their opinions. I'm smart enough to make good decisions in the people I keep around me. And I don't think they're jealous. I think they're seeing what I don't see yet. And I should consider this a red flag if my friend who gets along with everybody, who's happy and good-spirited, and I look up to, is kind of hesitant about who I'm dating. The next one I have here is, I let him borrow money and he doesn't pay me back, but that's okay. He'll be there too one day if I need him. I've thought like that before. There was money piling up of money he owed me, and when he would decide to pay me back, it would be half of what he owed me, and he'd say, "Oh, I'll pay the rest later." And in my mind, I was like, "Okay, it's okay, because we're gonna build a life together. I'm having his child, so what is $60 here, $100 there, when we're gonna own a home together one day, or we're gonna be raising a family together? This is all gonna kind of add back up later on, or when I need him, he'll follow through," and none of that is true. A logical thinker, this is a huge red flag. If you have borrowed money from somebody, that should haunt you. Every day that goes by that you haven't paid them back when you said they would, that should be a burden on your shoulders for a regular good person. That should be a constant thought in the back of your head. Oh my gosh, I owe this person money. I need to be a person of my word. I need to have my integrity intact, and the longer it goes without paying this person back means I don't have any integrity, and I want to prove to this person that I'm to be trusted. That is how a good person would think. So a logical thinker would definitely take this as a huge red flag, that this person lacks integrity, lacks empathy. I can't trust them. They're unreliable. I mean, this is a huge one. This is a huge red flag. You might just have started talking to a guy and this happens early on. Really watch this one. This is a huge precursor to the type of person they're going to be in your relationship. And it's kind of a blessing for this to happen early on, so you can cut ties with somebody like that. The next one I have is, sometimes you need to work hard on a relationship. I'll do whatever it takes to make it work. I think one of my good friends, she said something really beautiful, and she said that hope is glorified to women. It is glorified in the media, in movies, everything. It's made to be this really great, big, positive thing, especially for women. And hope is one of our biggest destroyers. And it is one of those things that keeps us moving forward in a completely toxic relationship with a very sick individual. And you can't be thinking like that when it has to do with your own life. A relationship should not be hard. You shouldn't have to work really hard at it. It shouldn't be a daily struggle. There shouldn't be explosive situations. None of it should be hard. If you're in a boring relationship that has a nice system to it and a nice schedule to it, and the person is reliable and sustainable, and everything's really sustainable, okay? That's how a relationship should be. It should be super sustainable, just like employment. It's a routine, it's a job, it's something you're good at. No one is going to pick a job that's really, really hard to keep or really, really hard to do. If you're going to work and you have to work really, really hard just to keep your job every single day, then you probably need to find a new job. That's the same thing with relationships. It's not sustainable if you have to work really, really hard to stay in a relationship. The longest lasting relationships are a little bit boring. They're routine, they're reliable, they're systemic. So a logical thinker would not think that way. They would think, why is this relationship so hard? A relationship shouldn't be hard. I don't want to stress this much over who I'm with. They're supposed to make my life better, not more difficult. The last one I have here is, he must really be into me since he likes to control everything I do. This is a huge one. You're deprived so much, especially after the honeymoon phase in a relationship with a narc, that they're controlling, manipulative behaviors, they're stalking behaviors kind of replaces love, because you're deprived of true love after that and nurturing, and you're deprived of touch and proper emotional connection. That controlling aspect becomes the replacement for love, and we start thinking that they must really want me and this is their love language, and I've never had someone so into me that they would control what I wear or who I talk to or my beliefs. So a logical thinker in this situation would think,